Welcome to NoTownNerds. I'm Matt Hackney.
I'm Eric.
Travis.
I am Nick.
All right. And this podcast is being recorded on, what is it, December 1st?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, sounds right. Yeah. So,
What number are we on?
Episode 9.
Number 9.
The Phantom.
Yes.
The Force Awakens.
The Force
In my
Awakens.
pants.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what a casual sidebar.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a segue.
Have
What
you
were we going to
seen,
talk about?
Oh, I didn't pivot.
yeah.
Sorry.
Have you seen the trailer? Yeah.
There's a trailer?
Yeah.
They're making a new Star Wars
we
movie?
may have just watched it moments
Explain.
ago. Yeah.
Please
so,
enlighten me.
Okay, so did it leak early? Is that right?
No, I think they released it immediately when they want to release it.
Okay.
Released it.
I think they
Released
released it the same day they said it's playing in
Yeah, they're
theaters.
going to play it in several theaters
Yeah.
around the country.
Right.
But I mean, if you
Friday.
couldn't get to, that Friday after Thanksgiving, and if you couldn't get theaters, tough shit. But apparently they changed it, so now they play it online. I woke up, at noon on Friday, as I usually do, and then looked on Facebooks, and they had, and all it was like everyone's posting it. It was like all these friends, like trailer. For like a good, like me scrolling there being like, all right.
Everybody's sharing
Right.
it like no one else is sharing it.
no one's gonna share it. It's like, oh, it is Star Wars. And then like I watched the trailer.
People still are, by the way.
Really, yeah. And my first thought was like, I was like going through scrolling through all stuff, and like it's not just like my nerdy friends. It's like
Everyone.
normal people that have
I
like
didn't know
regular
everyone
jobs, and
liked
like
Star Wars.
children, like these like real like everyone. It's like
Yeah.
literally everyone is posting this trailer, and like just going through, scrolling through this thing, and it's like, God damn it, this is gonna make all the money. Like this is just gonna win everything. And then like I watched the trailer, and it's like, I hate to admit it, but that looked really good. Like I hate J.J. Abrams, but that looked really, really good, and I'm really excited about
J.J.
this.
Abrams?
Into Darkness was terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
Star Trek Into Darkness. Look,
But it had Sherlock.
No.
he's gonna be in Star. He's gonna use
also
the
gonna-
narrating in the trailer. Yeah.
Like,
so-
okay, as much as I like
Yeah,
Cumberbatch,
exactly.
as much as I like Star Trek and Star Wars and all that, like I hate that there's all these recurring themes right now. These like things that are hot, so they're in every movie. Like Cumberbatch.
lightsabers,
Yes. No, but, like,
Special
Cumberbatch
effects.
has been in like,
CG. Like it's a
but
new thing.
he's in all of it right
No,
now.
he's
He's in
sure, yeah.
everything coming out. Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the trailers at the time. I mean, like how many times? What's his name? Christopher.
Walken.
Close. You use Saruman.
Christopher Lee. Dude, he killed Nazis and he's in a death metal band. He can be in
Oh, yeah.
whatever
And
he wants.
he was Dracula back in the day for Hammer films,
Yeah.
or Hamer, depending on how you say it, and old horror movies. And he was in Lord of the Rings. He
Well,
was in the original, well, not the original,
Yeah.
the new Star Wars trilogy that came out.
Prequel. Yeah.
So the prequels.
Count Dooku.
Well, at least it's
Exactly.
not.
So
It's
he's
not like
doing-
Johnny Depp and Tim Burton movie though. It's not that yet.
Exactly.
It's true.
Cumberbatch
Getting
is,
there.
Cumberbatch is to Abrams what Depp is to Burton.
All right,
Good
all right.
actor.
Yeah.
No, there's no. We also Charlie Talking Factory. The no, I mean, okay, Matt. Your initial thoughts on the trailer? Shoot.
Good timing for asking the question.
Yeah. While you're drinking,
Okay, so
your nondescript
it is
bottle.
it is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and watching the first 2/3 of the trailer, I got that it was
You
Star
got
Wars
awoken?
and the Force had been awakened.
Yeah.
Like it literally said what I already knew. So it showed
Right.
that there's going to be a scene on Tatooine because there's not going to fucking not be a scene
They
on
didn't
Tatooine.
say it was Tatooine.
It's fucking Tatooine.
It's just a planet that has
fucking Tatooine.
Yeah.
The same
There's
background as
there's only
Tatooine.
one desert planet in the Star Wars universe, and it's fucking Tatooine.
And the whole galaxy is the only planet that has sand
It has
on
dunes,
it.
yeah. But okay, so then there's a stormtrooper. There's some kind of battle scene. There's some X-wings, which right when I saw the X-wings, like okay, like now I'm getting on board because it was just like that gritty, like realistic shot that it was just like okay, so I'm starting to get turned, and then when it goes to black.
Several
And then
times.
it comes back with right. This is the last time it goes to black, right? When it comes back with the shot of the Millennium Falcon, and you really hear the music kick
Yeah.
in. That's what like sold me right
Me too.
there. Like seriously, like it really. Like
That's when the Force awakens in your
Yes.
face.
yes. The chord was struck that like it
Yeah.
latched onto that like childhood like Star Wars fandom, and like I'm pumped. I can't wait for it. It's another year. But I'm psyched, man.
No, my initial thoughts was when I saw it and they did the opening scene in the desert. It's like, hey, that's not CG. That looks like a real plane, and there's a black guy. Awesome!
Oh, yeah.
This is working perfectly. It's like everything they're doing right.
But the actor, did you notice it's what's his name from Attack the Block?
Yeah.
John Boyega.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, shut up! Like you know,
Attack the Block.
You spend a couple years in England, and suddenly you know all these British actors.
you spend 2 minutes on IMDb. No,
One.
1 minute, thank you. No, but I that was really cool. That's like the first thing I saw. I was like, this looks kind of neat. Like, I mean, it looks that, but this is ultra nerdy. The part when she gets on the like speeder and takes off, and makes like that goofy noise. It's like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're starting an old car. It's like, dun, 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 and like goes making
Ride that refrigerator into the desert.
She's going places. Like, that looks really cool. I mean, the lightsaber thing. I've read both arguments or people complaining about the lightsaber and the little whatever, like the
cross guard.
Yeah, the cross guard, right? But you know, it's realistically, and like I mean, like, why not? Like, who cares? Like, it's a sci-fi movie. Like, suspension of disbelief. Like, we're getting nitpicky about that. It's like, you can also nitpick about they're fighting with swords made of light. So come on now, you're not really winning. You're not really battling to lose an argument. So So I mean, besides that was really cool. And then again, that like the Millennium Falcon scene, like that's like when you're finally like, yes, this is really exciting. So it wasn't that, but. Travis, I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are, but what'd you think?
Not at all, actually.
Get out.
I got my.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I got my Jean-Luc Picard, so I'm good. But it's funny because I'm glad that I'm not. It's not that I dislike Star Wars. I'm just not a huge fan about it. They're trying very, very hard. There's like, okay, this is like when it first opened up, I was like, oh wow, that looks like the original Star Wars. That looks like Star Wars. Cool, awesome. And when the guy pops up like that, I was like, all right, that's kind of jarring. That's weird. But it's very much the old one, the Millennium Falcon, the music cues, the sounds, and I almost. We'll see. Time will tell. Hindsight and all that, but
cautiously
they're
optimistic.
Trying really hard right now. So, like, look, you remember Star Wars? You like Star Wars, right?
Remember how fun it used to be? Yeah.
Because if I mess up this movie again because everybody hates Star Trek now, I'm going to be out of a job. Yeah. So you got to get like Star Wars, right?
Now there will be a Super 8 Part 2.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll go see it. I'll be like, cool, Star Wars, awesome, good movie. I liked it. I won't go back and watch the prequels again because no one does. But I felt the lightsaber scene. I don't care what the lightsaber looks like. I mean, shoot, we did lightsaber scene fighting 50
back in like junior high.
Yeah, you can probably find it on the internet somewhere.
Don't look it up online.
I literally spent 25 minutes today with showing a coworker theforce.net and looking up like all sorts of fan films, and I'm just sitting there like falling down this rabbit hole of nostalgia, and I realized my shift ended half an hour ago. I gotta get out of here.
You're another female. See you later.
The scene though with the sword felt very video game to me. It was like, all right, hey, all young kids.
Isn't that something you would like, though?
It's dark and it's actiony and it's gonna be like that.
Like capes blowing in the wind, snowy and dark.
And it felt like he was trying to like, all right, here's Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, also people that aren't Star Wars people.
People that like Assassin's Creed might.
Here's
the French Revolution.
It ran at 10 frames all of a sudden and crashed. It was great. Yeah. It looks good. Looks wonderful. Great. I'll probably go see it with one of all of you guys, but I won't be the first in line to go see it. So, but
we are going to be the first one in line to see it. If you come with us, you got to go first.
I'll just cut in line.
You'll show up later on. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, get out of the way, nerd.
4 eyes.
Nick, what'd you think?
I was like you. I wasn't really blown away. I thought it was really competent and well done. And then I don't know, something about the Millennium Falcon with John Williams. I really think it's the music. Mm-hmm. Like in the beginning 2/3 sets you to nostalgia, and then it's that orchestral hit with John Williams that says, "Okay, you're back.
Absolutely,
you're back to when you were, however old you were,
when they were good."
Yeah,
because it's literally it's that.
It's
the horns, whatever it is. Yeah, that is like the opening credits. That is just that is it. That's what kicks you in the face of this epic fantasy that you're about to go on. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Goosebumps.
Seriously. I'm excited.
Star Wars, you're about to go into.
Yes. But so that said,
and I wasn't even a big Star Wars fan.
Well, so I don't think that I'm going to go to a midnight showing, to an early showing.
I'm going to 8 p.m. showing to that one because they're no longer midnight shows anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so the first showing, I don't think I'm going to do it.
No,
how
I'll
they
be
want to do
working.
it. Because I spent almost 24 hours at the theater at Edwards when episode 3 came out.
Yeah.
Like 24 hours. I got there. I got my canopy set up. I was there. People came and went. Do you remember? Were you there for that?
I think we were there.
You were
yeah.
there. I don't know if you were.
I don't know.
There were like 32 people that were like coming and going that we had tickets for. That I remember somebody showed up, left, and worked an entire shift, and then came back. Like, I had my ice chest and everything, but we were just sitting out there all day, just hanging out. And it was cool. It was a cool experience to be there with all the fans because it was the last movie, right? We weren't expecting any more after that. Yeah. But,
And here we are, flash forward 10 years later.
I did the 12.5-hour marathon of Avengers movies, and that sounded cool, man. But then I'm getting bed sores because I've been sitting for 12.5 hours. And
I made sure to cut out during Thor, I think. I left for Thor to get lunch.
You left for 6 hours in the middle there to go get drunk over at BC's. With Pearl
and to have dinner.
But I just, I'm a fan, but I'm I just don't want to suffer that much for it. I'd rather enjoy it. I'd rather go a couple days later and just enjoy the movie rather than having to put up with.
But like I was saying, though, I feel like it's gonna be on so many theaters and all the theaters and so many screens comes out because I think it's really if any indication was from
it's gonna beat Hunger
Facebox
Games.
was that it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna do gangbusters. It's gonna kill everything.
One more reason why I don't want to fucking fight the masses to go see it.
But I don't think you have to fight masses if they accommodate to everyone
everyone's schedule.
X amount of theater. Well, yeah, but X amount of theaters and stuff. I mean, you can't be the final guy that goes out there and pitches the tent and hangs out for a week to go see be the first guy in line. Sure.
But there's going to be 1 million people that are going to do that. There's going to be tons of people that are willing to do that.
And then I'll show up at the 10 midnight show and be no one's, there's a certain amount of people.
It'll clear down by then.
Yeah, I'll get out of work and be I don't deal with those guys. I'll go watch it this time,
I think you both have good points. It's
but they're both wrong.
Yeah, but you're both wrong because Star Trek.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Hey, don't get me started on Star Trek. All right, I'm on both sides of the fence here.
Same.
Yeah.
But there's going to be so many spots, but I like the idea of being able to go in it's the last week something's playing and you go into either the cruddy theater or the one that it's that small tiny one with dolphins or something on the wall at Edwards and you're just no one's there. There's maybe 3 other people and you get to hang out and relax and I think that's more enjoyable. But in the same extent, I think if you can get into that fever pitch a little bit, back in the day, the second Resident Evil movie, when frickin' he was stars, I was yes, yes, and 6, 7 other people, and I was this is great.
The other 6, 7 people in the theater that were there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this was opening.
Right. Yeah.
And we still have a year to go. I may change my mind. I may start to get into it. Yeah, but there is something to be said about being in that theater, packed elbow to elbow with every other diehard fan.
Well, I don't want. I want fans, not diehard fans.
Yeah, but that's what you're going to get. You're going to get everybody that knows every single line of the other 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
That is going to be these crazy fans are going to be there for. They're going to be dressed as stormtroopers or Jedis or whatever random other character. It's just. That's what I want to be there for. People are going to laugh at all of the specific moments for all the hidden jokes and all that shit. That's what I want to go. That's what I want to experience. But I don't know that the fight to get there is necessarily worth it for me anymore. Because I did that for fucking years, where I would go and buy 30 tickets and try and resell them to all my friends. So we all in the theater at the same time, trying to hold those seats and waiting in line and all that. And I just I'm so turned off.
I feel now you actually have to go out of your way just to get that experience. Because when I saw Hunger Games last weekend, there was one playing every 30 minutes.
Jeez.
So
this is the new one?
Yeah, the last Hunger Games that came out. It's going to be remarkably easy to find a showing.
Yeah, and I'm saying you can either go to the experience the late.
I'm leaving. Bye.
The late midnight show with all the fanatical fans out there and stuff, or Charles wants to do. You can go
and relax
on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And there might be some people there.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, a movie theater during the day, there's not a whole lot of people there. Mm-mm. So I'm saying if you want, that's the way you want to experience the movie, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to experience a movie where there's not a whole lot of people in there, that's pretty cool. I mean, you can do that also. And it'd also be maybe 3 or 4 days after it opened, so you're still not out of the loop because it's still in, it's still pretty current, a week within the current. So I think you can do it if you really want to. It just depends on how you want to experience it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be about experiencing it now. A lot of us, now that we're older, one, the body doesn't bounce back from 24 hours of sleeping on pavement, and two, we have other things we need to do now, which takes away
like
from
jobs and shit.
Well, I don't really have a real one.
So I'm going at my work right now. We're going through our vacation selection, but we have to put in weeks
Must be
for the
nice.
it's for the year. So we have to put in. So we do these rounds. So we put it in for the next year. So. I put in for a couple different days, and there's already people with more seniority. They got those weeks already. So now, as we're talking about it, I'm sitting there thinking, well, shit, I could actually just go put in those days that I got denied. I can go put those in for sometime in February now and try and is it February? Not February. Sorry, December.
Yeah.
December.
A year away.
February was when I was denied.
A year away.
That's my
Wow, it's coming up real quick. That trailer sucks.
I think I need to find out all the release dates and request those days.
Yeah.
There was the
That's what I should
Avengers,
do,
Jurassic
yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
Is that all coming out this next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
So, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This is gonna be in.
So do you want to touch on Jurassic Park real quick? It also came out the same week. I think it's gonna be cool. Again, it was the music was still it's still bringing
It
back
changed
next
a little
year.
bit, but still.
We were talking about the drive-in earlier. I saw Jurassic Park at the drive-in. I believe it was a double feature with
Sister Act.
no, I was gonna
Which
say
Sister Act?
That being the Sister Act movie in the drive-in zone.
I was gonna say Mortal Kombat, but it might have been like
That was an amazing night.
it might have been like Crimson Tide or something like that. Something super dramatic
Not as
for
big as
a
Mortal Kombat.
7-year-old. But
That's just Mortal Kombat.
yeah. Well, okay. But seeing Jurassic Park, I've seen it a bunch. I mean, it's just one of those kid fucking movies that you love, dinosaurs and everything else. So
Yeah.
it's like I think this is it's gonna touch on that a little bit, but they've genetically engineered a new
We're gonna touch on
dinosaur.
dinosaurs?
I don't think it's
Star-Lord meets dinosaurs?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the new Star Trek movies are a perfect example of you have the old ones, which were the pacings were much different, and Picard was breaking his little toys, his little golden ships, freaking amazing. But the demographic is different nowadays. It's an action film that has nerdy elements to it. The new Star Treks had them, the first one, I'm not saying it was a good or bad movie, but they're running and they're jumping off stuff and they're shooting things and stuff. The original Star Trek didn't do that. Shoot, the original series?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, maybe they phasered something in that. But
We all remember the motion picture.
Yeah,
Where
so-
it was 30 minutes of them filming around the
The motionless picture, yeah.
Yeah, 90 minutes of them just scanning around the ship.
Yeah.
So.
It's like watching 2001. You're watching a docking procedure
But
in real
2001 was
time.
fun though because it was kind of nutty.
Batshit
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh. So speaking of 2001, though, I'm gonna segue into Interstellar.
okay.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see it?
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. I thought there was a lot of similarity to 2001. A lot.
I
Of,
think
Yeah.
they wanted there to be a lot of 2001.
but it was just
I feel it was lost in
the
translation.
thing that I loved the most about the movie was the soundtrack,
The ending.
score. No, the score.
Credits.
Like I went and downloaded it. I've been listening to it, and it's just like that. It's the organ or whatever going on in the background. That like it's just at those times it was so loud and just intense that it just I don't know. It really built. I just really,
I have a problem with that movie.
Yes.
was
I
your
have
problem?
umbrage. I'll let Nick go
Science?
first.
No, mine's completely different.
I don't believe in
No,
science.
his is actually his. I'm pretty sure.
So it really bothered me in the film where you can't hear any of the dialogue because of the music.
the dialogue isn't muted. It sounds like half.
It
of-
was
what's his name-
intentional.
What's his name's line?
It was intentional.
Uh,
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Okay, yeah, I can't understand.
And I heard, I read an
English.
interview.
No,
I live there. I know their speak.
So it's Matthew McConaughey.
No, Christopher Nolan actually explained he did it on purpose because he wanted to reflect the emotional state of whoever was listening. And I think that's just intellectual bullshit because we never really gotten her perspective. We're always with, what's his face, McConaughey?
Yeah, McConaughey.
So why all of a sudden are we going with the daughter and like all of a sudden we're supposed to be with her listening to Michael Caine? You can't hear anything he's saying.
I see he's trying to go for like a weird new concept, and
That's not new.
It's not new, but
his
it's
explanation,
kind of new.
I don't like that. But when I was in the theater, we talked about it, and we were trying to think, was it a sound mixing issue? Because I went to Dublin to see it. Yes,
he did the same with Bane, right?
Yeah.
He made it purposely so he was like unintelligible. You couldn't hear what he's saying.
That was fucking stupid. But okay,
Well,
so
I actually like that one, but
there's the door.
because he's a dude in the mask.
So we're trying to figure out, was this an error in the mixing for the theater? Was it just all the prints? Because I saw in the 70 millimeter film. And so then we started talking about, oh my god, I'm draw a blank on it. The Facebook movie, The Social Network.
Fincher.
Yeah,
No, it's called Social Network, right?
No, but the director, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Dave Fincher.
Yeah. So there's a scene where they're in the club and the music is super loud and they're talking, but it's almost kind of muffled, like the treble's brought down, like the bass is up.
Sure.
So it's kind of hard to hear. Exactly like being in a club and having that same
it's
conversation.
That works.
They're so intense, and so when they're like, when you imagine yourself in a club, you're having to like lean in and like
terrible.
focus. Yeah. So, but that's what you have to do when you're watching that scene. It's like they're bringing you into the moment to tie you into it, and that's what I felt like with this movie, is that there were certain times where it was difficult to hear because the music was so loud, but it was the emotion of it, the intensity. It was just, that's what was bringing it in. It didn't matter what they were saying. Yes, there's dialogue that they're talking about what was going on, but it wasn't so important that you couldn't just sit there and just be feeling more than interpreting what they're saying. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
No, it makes complete sense.
No, you're right, but I feel like that scene's actually what he was saying was pretty important.
Yeah.
He was kind of giving away major plot.
Which scene?
It's the one where the daughter is talking to Michael Caine, the father.
And he may or may not be in a bed of some sort.
And he's
dying.
explaining,
Okay.
spoiler.
When they're in space.
They're all dying technically, but anyway. So
Everyone's dying.
okay.
Well, when you watch
But that's it. But I feel like he gives some important plot details that I was like, what now? And like, because I couldn't hear it, it didn't make any sense. And then later on in the movie, they call on it again. It's like, oh, okay, that kind of means.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
what he
hear
said.
because the music was turned off.
Or he was repeating that same speech over and over again. No,
But when he says, like, he reveals that big secret, and then she goes and records the message, like, I mean, I kind of saw that
We're the monsters.
that was kind of coming all along, right? Like, I mean, that was kind of,
you can say
saw
so.
it.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's like I didn't even, that wasn't even the scene that I had in my head that of a one where I couldn't hear the dialogue, where I couldn't understand it. There was more of the stuff where they were in the ship, either like leaving orbit or things like that, where it was other stuff that was difficult to hear. But in those moments when it's so tense, was like most of the comedy.
Right.
And it's fucking cracking up. I was like trying to like keep
the
myself
robots
from
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it was super funny. There are these big old clunky refrigerator looking
Oh, I love that
robots.
thing.
Yeah, with like blank flat screens for faces that just have text on there.
Yeah.
And then they're fucking
It's like
comedians.
a giant iPad.
Yeah.
okay, so,
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think of the movie? Did you like it?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a long fucking movie.
But it didn't feel long, though.
Well, I drove
time
for
is
2.5
relative.
hours to sit for
Okay.
3 hours and
And
watch
watch it
it.
back afterwards?
We hung out for a bit, but yeah. So we came
Okay,
back.
that is a trip. That is a journey to do that.
Yeah.
My whole thing was I just like the movie plays and it's really good, like it's paced well, story's pretty fun, and then like they hit emotional beats that are really like kind of struck a chord. I'm like, oh, I'm a sucker to manipulation for that for like that emotional stuff. But just the ending just completely lost me. I completely was lost on the ending of it wrapped up too nicely in a package. It was all too like it was borderline hokey.
Yeah.
And it's just like so just like all convenient and just like and it
So I already messed up with one spoiler here, and I don't want to say there's another word, but a plot device that they use.
Right.
That it's like when you throw that in there, the whole thing gets messy.
yeah.
That you really can't you can't pick at any one thing because like you start pulling threads and the whole thing's going to unravel. So you just kind of have to go with it. You just got to go
Once
with
you
it.
introduce witches in the movie, it's all the window.
Yeah,
The
like they go
zombies.
through a black hole in space, and it's kind of you just got to go along with it
Okay.
like that. You really can't like.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I can, and I
Right,
will.
right,
So
right.
I'm,
All right.
yeah.
Who's that famous
So-
physicist, astrophysicist? Neil Tyson deGrasse?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy's awesome.
He
Neil
was
deGrasse
tweeting
Tyson?
like
Neil deGrasse, the next generation.
he was tweeting a whole bunch of things about that movie, and he was actually saying that the science is sound.
No, it made sense.
that's pretty
And that
cool.
part was
That, like,
fun.
And
that's the way
plot's
that like
crazy.
yeah, that like a black hole in
That's crazy.
space is observed as a sphere or a three
Yeah,
dimensional.
and he said, yeah, that's true.
Or the 3-door wormhole, whatever it is. Yeah, that like he explained exactly like that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But it's like the science advisor they had for the movie is supposed to be like a White House science advisor or some shit like that. He's some other like higher up. I can't remember exactly.
No wonder I hate this movie.
I might be making that up, but
somehow he got it right.
Like, yeah, he's another good guy. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was good. It was super intense. It's a long movie, so I highly suggest you don't buy any kind of beverage when you go watch it.
No.
Because you're not going to fucking make it.
No, I like most of Nolan's movies. I just feel like he's too heady, if that makes any sense. Like he's very intellectual.
I feel like he's making up for the fact that the ending of Inception was so up in the air.
Yeah.
And then I think he
did want to like stick a little
went too
ball.
much the other way.
He exactly. He went the complete opposite way of this one. Everything's out of a Neil package. Everything makes sense. Everything's not to make sense, but I mean everything's wrapped up and everything's like conveniently like happy ending. And it's like all right.
I think the average consumer wants that to some
I know they do.
extent,
Oh, yeah.
because people don't want to think about it.
But
They
then
wanna be
why
told.
But I mean if he's an artist, which he is, like, he's auteur. He's an artist auteur.
Yeah.
Why would you like soft pedal or like sell yourself short on that because you're feeling pressure from? I know, I get it, I understand, but I'm just saying. But whatever. It's a good movie. 70% of the way. Wow, 24% lost me.
Now, see, I'm gonna come because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I saw McConaughey and I was like,
Yeah, he's also part of it. Like he's playing himself in the movie. He's like playing a character.
Well, yeah, he's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
He's the astronaut farmer.
right. Yeah.
Them high school girls.
All right.
But and actually, he did really well with the movie that he did before, right?
The Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, and I guess he won. Like he did real well.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised. I'd like to see it probably. But to take the exact opposite of Interstellar being a very serious, I got to there's a couple nerds out there that probably have seen it. Lockout with Guy Pearce. It's so good. No one's ever heard of it. It's in
like
space.
The space drama,
And
or
it's
like a
just
space
him-
prison or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just him running around being an ass.
Yeah, right.
Because that's who he is, and he's charismatic, and it's great. It opens up with him just getting tortured, and he's making fun of the person in it. It's like, just boom. He's like, yeah, man, blah, blah, blah. And without saying any and ruining the jokes, but it's just, it literally, it's very much me as I guess kind of the more Joe Schmo casual nerd is. I saw that and I died because it has the nerdy aspects of it, but it has this guy that is like, okay, well, what about this plot point? What about this plot point? And the director's like, who cares? This is funny.
And I mean, I get that if like if that's like your whole like shtick and like during movies. I mean, like I love like comedies that make sense, like Iron Sky. Like you ever seen that one about the Nazis on the moon?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is. And there's a sequel coming out, which
based on a
sounds
true
even
story.
better. There's like the Earth is hollow. And
Oh my god,
Nazis-
the Iron Sky, it's like Nazi dinosaurs or dinosaur Nazis.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Yeah.
want to see that.
lizard
I
people
just
and shit.
watched the trailer for it.
Oh, I think I saw
and
the
it's
trailer.
it's seriously.
So
it's
like
fucking
I mean like
bonkers.
yeah, I can be like an angry
Yeah.
sci-fi like hard sci-fi nerd, but then like when that comes out, I'm like all right, that sounds fun.
Because it knows what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Certain movies they
And
don't,
they don't know.
care.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that.
I think you need to have a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And not everybody, and that's kind of why I threw that in, because there's going to be some people like, I don't want to watch Interstellar. And
Well,
it's just-
because Interstellar takes itself insanely seriously. Like
Yes.
there's a couple of jokes in there, here and there, but I mean, for the most part, it takes itself like really seriously, which is fine. I mean, it's hard sci-fi, which I appreciate. Like Children of
Yeah.
Men, hard sci-fi, awesome. Blade Runner, hard sci-fi, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then so with the first half, like the first again 75% of the movie, I'm like, it was hard sci-fi, like mean spirited, people are dying, like for like. I don't want to say randomly, but it was like in reality, people kind of die like without like any sort of like people just happen. It dies. People die. It happens, and that was really cool. I'm like, this is great. Like the first 70% of the movie, I'm like, this is amazing. And then the ending happens. It's so like soft pedaled and like lowballed, and it's like, come on, man, you're doing so good. Like if it ended like on like, I don't even necessarily want to say like a negative note, but like just on a note where like it kind of went along with the first 70% of the movie, I would have been like, this is the best movie ever. Because like halfway through the movie, like I'm like. Once they leave that giant like water planet, that's all I'm gonna say. Once they leave the water planet with like the giant waves and shit, I'm like, this is fantastic. Like this is what I want in movies.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it happens, kind of just ruins it completely for me. And maybe I'm just jaded and
it's
angry
just
and
the
old.
ending for me.
So I mean, I don't know. But
as we get older, I think we're not the demographic anymore. But I think you almost hit like
How dare you say that?
I am not getting older.
Shit, man. I know I'm not.
I am still a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah, I don't fit on those anymore. I try, but it's the same thing. I guess I had with you have like I guess you said it properly. The terminology, kind of the hardcore nerd and the softcore nerd,
Yeah,
the
the
lighter
poser.
one. Yeah, the poser.
It's the casual gamer. Casual consumer,
Exactly. There are different things. You don't have to identify yourself by it, but everybody has a different intensity.
Yeah.
I really like 28 Days Later. I love it, but everybody, I felt that was a hardcore kind of look to it, whereas the casual came in and was like, what's going on, man? These aren't zombies. This is not how zombies are. And it was like, why do I gotta think about stuff? And I was like, no, it was great. And then the blood drops, and you're like, no, and then it goes in because the first it kind of zombie, and then the last part of the first one especially is this is not zombies anymore. This is blah blah blah. Yeah.
Well, it was a rage.
These
virus.
people are enraged.
Yeah, those people
Where
like
are the
28 weeks
monsters?
later.
Yeah, there's no like ghouls. There was no, hell was full,
Something
so the
going,
devil walked the earth, like the Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead or
I
whatever.
want another Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves.
Have you seen the show?
Have you seen the TV show?
I don't watch TV anymore.
It's not great.
I haven't seen
It's not
it.
Keanu Reeves.
Well, I like Keanu Reeves, but the actual character from the comic book looks a lot more and acts a lot more like this guy from the TV show. And it's
No, I walk by a TV, it's playing at work, and it's like, that looks kind of cool. But I haven't seen it.
It's kind of cool, but it's Monster of the Week stuff every week. It's like, oh, a new demon, kill it.
Well, is it?
Kill
Kill it.
demon,
Kill it.
Yeah.
Since I'm already crucifying myself with Star Wars, isn't like Supernatural kind of like that, or what? What's the popular one?
I was already gonna make that joke,
Supernatural,
but
yeah.
Supernatural,
Yeah.
Monster
I
of the
mean,
Week and
But I
Buffy.
mean,
But that's anything. That's any
it's
like
any TV show
one
you
of those
can think
things.
of.
There is a
Flash.
Monster of the Week. Yeah.
I'm a Whedon fan, so I like Buffy and I like Angel. I like Angel more. I'm sorry. I like Boreanaz, even though
Get out.
he's the same thing and everything. Did you ever see, what is it, My Bloody Valentine? Or,
no, Valentine.
is it just
This
Valentine?
is Valentine, yeah.
I literally clicked through the TV a long time ago, and I saw the very ending of it. I was like, "This is a weird Angel episode." Straight up, I'm not. I love Boreanaz, but it was this. It was Angelus, and I was like, and then credits. I was like, "Oh, that's a movie." Ooh, Boreanaz. No. and now he does Bones.
Well, I
and
was
he
gonna
can
say,
act.
ooh,
Yeah, you know, you can
Bones.
do stuff, yeah.
I'm happy for him, and he lost all that weight that he gained a bunch of weight towards the end of the Angel series. I don't know why. He's making money.
Making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good for him. But it was funny. I literally turned on Valentine. I was like,
I think you saw it in theaters, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I remember. I think like I don't know how
Yes, I did.
circumstances happened.
you
Like,
guys saw Cabin in the Woods.
you sure did.
Yes, I did.
And you guys asked if I wanted to go. I was like, no.
Yeah, it was. I think like
I need to revisit that movie because I hated it when
You
I first
guys
saw
hate
it.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
man,
Cabin in
that's
the
like my
Woods.
favorite
Oh,
horror
the
Eli
movie
Roth
now.
one?
Yeah.
No, you think Cabin Fever?
I'm thinking we're thinking Cabin Fever.
Okay, was it Cabin
Yeah.
Fever? No, they text me literally.
Cabin in the Woods. I love
Totally,
Cabin in the Woods.
totally fucking different movies.
Yeah, they are.
Completely.
Is Cabin in
There's
the
a
Woods the one with the
cabin.
rotating
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
Yeah.
poster? That looked kind of cool.
It's
That was
really
a
good.
good
You should watch
idea.
it. It's really good.
Yeah. No,
Cabin
it's,
Fever.
it's seriously, it fucking takes a left turn, and you think you're watching the wrong movie, and you
It
just
does.
got to keep going with it because it gets better.
It's
That's
a
cool.
fun like deconstruction of horror movies in general.
Yeah.
Which
What's the one with the one day out of the year in America, everybody can do whatever they want?
Purge?
The Purge.
Were those any good?
I haven't seen the second one. The first one, I thought it was a good
Interesting
watch.
idea,
Yeah.
but I heard it kind of had the idea and then it kind of derailed into something else.
I feel like the second one came out so quickly after the first one that it kind of shows you that it probably wasn't that great, but it was just good
I think it
enough
just
to
made a lot
pay
of
for
money.
second
So,
one.
yeah.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity type of
solid
thing.
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
No, I thought the first one was decent.
Star Wars
I knew what I was getting into.
Shut
so.
up.
How dare you?
Well, Travis never come back. To that.
All right, so change things up a little bit. So we're joined by Travis today. Now,
that everybody now hates.
my hating. Well, maybe you're going to redeem people now. You're going to bring them back. You're going to bring them back. So you are. Let's try. Okay, so you're a bit of a gamer. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So I don't know if you
A
can.
bit of a gamer.
You can sum up a little bit about what you do.
Well,
In 3 words.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
Banana. It's the same word, but it's 3 times, so it counts. I'm a full-time partnered streamer on Twitch.tv.
What's Twitch TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Well, it's a website, and you can go on there really easily and sign up for free, and you can broadcast yourself playing a video game. So back when we were all younger, because we're all still so young and virile, of course. You had friends over and you played video games either together or by yourself, and you had someone looking over your shoulder or hanging out or cheating by looking at their screen. It was
commentating on how bad you're doing.
Yeah, it was only the one screen, right? You had your quadrant. That was
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, GoldenEye, I cheated the hell out of it. I was like, I know where that tile is. Oh, I win. But it kind of brings that idea back in that you go up there and then people can come on and watch. And people can chat and communities form. It's great. It's completely oversaturated now. Everybody does it. And if they don't do that, they do YouTube or, it's the new form of entertainment. I mentioned earlier I don't really watch TV anymore. I feel like I'm missing out on some really good stuff. But the new form of entertainment for a lot of people, especially the younger demographic, is now Twitch and YouTube. They came out with some studies that people know more about Twitch and YouTube personalities, PewDiePie and such, than they know about Patrick Stewart or any other movie or celebrities, which is interesting.
But your celebrity reference there just shows exactly how out of touch you are with everything.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm trying to kind of go the whole Star Trek thing still.
How old are most of these, like the new demographic now from these studies of like people who rely more on like YouTube celebrities and not rely, but know more about.
No, I was trying to think of some other really old actors.
So there's no like
Robert Redford.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
he's coming back in Captain America.
The guy from Captain America too.
Yeah. Okay, so with standard television, they use the Nielsen rating systems, and that's the universal platform for the United States for everything from like radio to television.
And then the major market like 18 to 35 or something.
It's the demographic, yeah.
The demographic.
18 to 35, 35.
That's like one of the best markets.
That's the highest.
That's like males 18 to 35, like the highest consumers of everything, basically.
I don't want to say male.
But
it really is made by
So there is no Nielsen equivalent for YouTube, for Twitch, for anything else. I mean, I think Nielsen is just now starting to look at DVR recordings.
Yeah.
I mean, which is that's gonna completely change the face of television right now. Yeah, because it's the number of people that are appointment television watchers is dwindling. So so with Twitch TV, is it live streaming only? Is there an on-demand facet to it? Or?
There are VODs, videos of the day. I hate that term, but that's what everybody uses.
It's videos.
Yeah, so it's pretty much stuff that's left over.
Work is the day.
Depending on if you're partnered or not. If you're partnered, it'll save those up to 60 days, and then they delete them. They used to have them always, but I'm assuming it's a database idea, which is a good call. I can also, anybody, as far as I know, can make a highlight. So if you want to highlight the entire thing, you're good. It stays there forever.
What does that mean, highlight?
So you just take, you can take a small excerpt, or you can take the whole thing and say, all right, I want to save this because this is important to me. It's a highlight of the broadcast I did today. So you could do that. Or a lot of us upload to YouTube as well. There's actually it works most of the time. You can click a button and it sends it to YouTube for you because it links with your account, and so that's really nice.
Okay.
But it's a live stream thing, and it's based mostly off of games, whereas Justin TV and other websites that used to do it, not always now, are more slice of life. You can go on here and you can talk about a podcast or your fingernails. How all the fashion ones are very popular.
So this past week I just went to the Dancing with the Stars finale, right?
Nice.
So work sent me to go cover it, and one of the girls, or the reason we were going is because there was a girl who was from Los Banos, Bethany Moda, and she's got this like crazy YouTube channel which she started in high school of just giving like fashion makeup tips for like girls, but like I was looking at them to download a couple of the clips to use as like file video for our story, and everything had like at least 2 million views. Like the least viewed video was 2 million views, and it's just some random girl. Just like one of the videos was she went to Wild Water and put on makeup and talked about waterproof makeup and what she does when she goes to a pool party.
And I've watched that video dozens of times.
Hold on, but that's her only claim to fame is being on YouTube, right? Well, now she's on Dancing with the Stars.
Yep.
So now even like mainstream television is seeing that that's an audience that they're trying to tap into.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new consoles are all integrated into it, except for Nintendo, who originally was like, well, who wants? They literally said went on at like it was one of the E3s or something like that. Who wants to watch Joe Smith play video games for 30 minutes? That's dumb. And I was like, oh my god, I can't
everyone on the internet wants to watch
so that blew up for a little bit.
The same people that want to watch Blu-ray DVDs on it.
They pulled that back since. I think they're actually releasing all of their licensing and the fact that you can draw like Nintendo stuff now, and they're not going to sue your ass. So I could have Mario. Part of Twitch, when you subscribe, if you have a partnership, you can have little emotes, and throughout that entire site, you can use those emotes on anybody else's chat. So it's just an incentive. Yeah. I like them though, but I could now, I believe, have a Mario head. And I'm not going to get my ass sued.
Who doesn't love Mario Head, really?
So they've literally come back from that. They said that, and they're like, ooh. And I think it was a lot of hardware limitation. They don't have the internet situation, friend codes and stuff like that. Still, it's different. But they backpedaled, showing once again, Twitch is huge. Amazon bought them for $1 billion recently.
That's amazing.
And I'm happy, because I did not want Google to buy them.
Well, no, why not?
And you got a pay raise.
Oh God, because I don't get paid enough to get a pay raise. I don't think. What's an extra little bit on $5?
Not yet.
But Google owns YouTube, and I don't blame Google for this. I love Google. I think it's wonderful. But YouTube's died out a lot in a lot of different ways. And if Google purchased Twitch, pretty much the only other main source of gaming and live entertainment, monopoly. And I'm without getting into politics, I'm terrified of having a monopoly, because what if I want to have something changed? What are you going to go do?
At least Yahoo didn't get it.
Yeah. What are you going to go do? The Bing live streaming?
Yeah.
No.
Let's Bing it.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
This episode has been brought to you by Microsoft.
Okay, so how did you get started in this of recording yourself playing games, film reviews?
Yeah.
Take us back.
Yeah, it's been a few years now. I've wasted away many years now of my 20s. It's really cool because you can just do it whenever you want. And it's becoming easier now too. Back when I started, it was a little harder, but I just kind of was like, I saw people do this. I thought it was pretty cool. So I did Twitch for like a couple days, and back in the day there was another service that was opposing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do YouTube. It's kind of, I want to do YouTube because people can come whenever they want and watch it. They don't have to come on my time, because Twitch can be hard to build sometimes unless you have a good social interaction and people helping you, which they have built-in stuff for that now. And then I've decided now I want to go back to Twitch because of that instant gratification, that communication, the community that builds. It's a lot of fun. But it literally, I just said, hey, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like video games. I like playing them. I'm going to play them. I might as well let people watch me and hopefully, it'd be fun.
Yeah. Did you watch a lot of other people stream before you got into it?
I did as like maybe a source of entertainment, not as something as like taking notes, like what do they do? And you should really research stuff. I should do it now, but I'm lazy and incompetent. But I recommend it. Yeah, there's a lot of people now. A lot of people are open with it. You can just go on and be like, hey, what are you doing? How are you doing this? What's going on? Checking out video games, especially if you're going to buy a brand new game. Go on, someone's streaming it. I guarantee it. Yeah. And YouTube, you can do it with YouTube too. You have your big names like Total Biscuit that's going to give you a rundown, especially on PC specs too and how it runs. But you can go on to Twitch and say, hey man, what are you doing right now? Okay, that looks really janky. Tell me about it. And on average, most people will probably say, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And, which is not a real answer, but...
How about flat?
Yeah, like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? It's good. I like it. I think there's a lot of really good aspects of it. I don't think that kids should just sit in front of that. I mean, I guess then you're arguing two old kids sit in front of TVs and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of blah, blah, blahs today. I don't know. I think it's awesome.
But it's good. I mean, how many people sit around for hours and watch a football game?
Yeah.
Watch baseball, right? Yeah. I mean, it is I would say it's a competitive sport. It's a live sport. It's something it is unfolding right in front of you in real time.
And you're interacting with it.
I
think that's the main difference.
Interactive media.
Yeah. And,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
So you said earlier it was oversaturated.
What's a video game?
What is Twitch? Yes.
So the Interstellar music was too loud. I couldn't hear you.
Earlier you said that it was oversaturated.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to elaborate more on that, or just like what do you have like some sort of
I thought it was
feelings?
still booming.
Yeah, I mean, I really have no idea.
And it's growing at such huge
But
rates.
if it's booming, then how can it? You know what I mean?
No, I guess that makes it.
Well, it's like it's the easiest maybe is like Starbucks.
Okay.
There's let's say you own a Starbucks, and then 5 more open up within the 3 or 4 mile radius. Yep, there you go. Brought to you by Starbucks. Get our mocha frappa latte orange with a slice of beer. Ooh, that sounds good.
Crispy.
But because of that, now everybody I had a market. Let's say 10 people used to come in and watch,
Right.
and then now maybe 3 of those have gone out and done their own thing. Maybe it brought a couple of people away from me. Then it's not a big deal. There's a slice of pie for everyone. Hundreds, thousands. The top competitive players have probably 30 to 40,000 people watching them. They're making so much money off of this. It is ridiculous. It's like all the kind of the old stuffy old guard older people that are like you can't make money. He's making more money than you or she.
Yeah. All right. So explain that. How does one make money playing video games?
Similar to YouTube, advertisements. So you can play once you're a partner, you can play advertisements. Otherwise, every time you log into one of the channels, it'll play an ad real quick.
Okay.
You can actually buy something for $9 a month. And it's called Twitch Turbo, and you see no ads ever. You also get some extra emotes that you can use, and you can change the color. Little stuff. I like it because when I do stuff later on that I won't get into for time concerns, I don't have time to watch commercials. We do
Playing naked.
Yeah.
Twitch TV After Dark.
Yeah, well, we do something. It's called rating. A lot of us do it. At the end of the stream, I say, "All right, guys and gals, we're gonna go see this person because I really like them, and I want to take my people and I want to push them over to Nick." And now Nick's channel, who may have less or more, doesn't really matter, is going to get a huge influx. I hope after 2 years, jeez. They're now you're going to get a new influx of people. They can follow you now, and maybe some of my people will now follow you, and it's great social interaction. Whereas once again, YouTube, you don't really get that. You're kind of on your own little island. It's not a bad thing, but you have to try a little harder.
So with YouTube, they have their own networks or channels where you have a bunch of people producing content under one banner. Is there any partnership like that with you? Do you have anybody that you've teamed up with to do a handoff where you come on, they send people to you?
Well, you're talking about a multi-channel network or an MCN, which is YouTube, and they're pretty much a gigantic pyramid scheme that says, okay, well, we'll protect you if you do a copyright infringement, possibly, and we'll give you a small fraction of the ads we're going to get. Twitch, you can get a partnership through Twitch. If you have a certain amount of numbers, you put out a certain amount of product, you do stream so much, they'll be like, all right, we'll decide if we want to do that. Then they will bring you in, and you can make a little bit of money off of ads. You can subscribe to someone for $5 a month. It's a reoccurring payment, which you can stop at any time. Twitch and the streamer split it down the middle. And then also any donations that are given to the streamer is another part of their income. There's also what you were talking about a little bit. Twitch doesn't really go out and say, I'm going to promote you. They'll promote, the bigger ones or the people that are coming up. Yeah. There's literally millions of people streaming, so they can't get everybody. But there's these things called stream teams, and these are groups of people that have said, okay, well, we're going to put together a group of people just like us, and I'm going to help promote you. I'm going to promote you. So at the end of the stream, I'm going to push them to you, and hey, we're part of, the NoTownNerds. Awesome. Yeah. And so it's a very loose thing. Some do more than others. I'm in a few myself, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's like Knights of Destruction. We're going to put our StarCraft clan and our Brood Wars.
It's still going strong.
Yeah. I still use that every once in a while.
So do you just play whatever game you want, or do you take requests? Or
the great thing about streaming is you get to do whatever you want. I do whatever I want. I can do it whenever I want, however I want. I can cuss and yell and offend people.
You do consoles and PC gaming? Or
yeah,
both?
Yeah, everything as much as possible. But
is there any one item that's more popular?
Oh yeah, it's funny. It's just like anything else, fashion or sports or TV, media, Star Wars. It's trends come up, and this is why I spend so much time in the gaming industry now that I don't get to watch movies, and it's really great speaking with all of you because of that. But a game just came out recently, and it's like, okay, this game's going to come out, And boom, every channel pretty much on Twitch is now playing this because it's one of those real big ones. And you can either try and get in that slice of pie or try and do something different.
It's not
Or
Dragon
still play
Age,
Mega
is
Man
it?
6.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is fine. Yeah, you can,
Battletoads.
Yeah, make your community. There's communities and very successful people that only play one game.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's been people that have been playing Dark Souls for years now, and that they do that every night.
Haven't even moved on Dark Souls 2 yet.
Yeah, it's really fun because I know a lot
You're
of
gonna get the purists.
Demon Souls. Excuse me, Dark Souls.
So,
Indeed.
So, so your videos aside, have you always been a big gamer, playing lots of video games?
Yeah.
Long before all this, right?
This is
Okay.
brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. So what was the first game that you ever remember playing, or a game of the system that you owned?
Super Mario Brothers when I was 4 years old on the NES. My parents had it. They bought it way back in the day because it was like, oh, cool, video games and stuff. That's when video games started to get really,
This'll
really big.
distract 'em.
Yeah, it wasn't Commodore, it wasn't Atari or anymore. It was really taking kind of a progressive
Yeah.
step. And I was told that I guess I picked that up at 3 or 4, and I beat that before them. And that was the first game that I ever played. And I've wasted.
It's been downhill since then.
I've been. That's all I do.
Okay. So was there another game that? So like when I was a kid, like we didn't have a ton of money, so there wasn't a lot of games that came in.
Yeah.
But there was a few that were like fixtures that I played the shit out of. Like beat the game, went through every single aspect of it, always playing the same level over and over, and never got old. Was there anything like that? Anything you were just all about?
Yeah, I mean the original Doom for PC was one of my first. That and Wolfenstein were just great. I never had anything like that before. It was just great. It was fast. And it was fun. It was awesome. I can go through, and Doom and the original Wolfenstein, I can go through and I have all of them memorized, every single level.
Muscle
And I
memory.
can go through and boom, hit all the bars. And it's funny because back in the day, we talked earlier about demographic and stuff. There's a buying power that a lot of the younger kids have. They have their family's credit card, and they have a lot of the buying power. So they go through games like crazy. It's just not a big deal to them. We didn't have that. A lot of us were not privileged enough or didn't have the ability. And you played that one game. You went to the arcades and
You loved it.
Yeah,
Played the shit out of that game.
you loved
we
it.
liked it.
Or you brought it back to the rental place and waited another week until the good game got back.
And now you have Steam.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Do you remember the computer show and sale that used to be at the fairgrounds?
Yep.
Right?
That's where I got SimCity.
Yeah, that's where I got Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
That was like the first game
one.
that I went out and bought. Of like, here's my money. I would like to purchase this video game.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about it. Went into it was like the best
Oh, yeah.
game. Yeah.
Turns out it was for Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. No.
No, but it was just like, being
kidding, they don't have games.
whatever, like 11, 12 years old or whatever. And
Those are great.
like when you're running in with Duke Nukem, like you go to the strip club and like you can press the space bar and like hand out like $20 or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Dumb
That's
shit like
all
that.
I remember from that game, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, my adult life.
Shake it, baby.
That's all I remember from yesterday.
Well, I always remember the sales because I'd be flipping through games, I wouldn't be paying attention, and then all of a sudden there would be these little pieces of paper in front of each game or movie, and I'd get yelled, and I'd be there's the porn section or the hentai section or whatever there was back then because it was just a shelf of games, and then like this would be regular game, porn now, and it just like. I'm like 7 or 8. I don't know what the crap's going on.
Yeah.
Just get out of here. Okay, sorry.
No.
Can't buy that then.
I totally don't know. Like, Nintendo 64. I want to say that probably were the right age that like when that came in, that changed a lot of things,
that was
right?
great.
Like as substantial as like the Super Nintendo was from the Nintendo, that Nintendo 64. I think like GoldenEye, like we all had to play the shit out of the game, right?
I was a Sega boy.
Hey, Sega kid.
Sega, what?
How was Vi? Did you take off all the equipment off a puddle before you threw him off the bridge?
I cannot ever forget that.
I know. I feel really
Yeah,
bad.
see, like you were talking about, like how we only had like certain staples. Mine was like SimCity and 1 or 2 RPGs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sega had some really good RPGs though. Sega's CD was Vi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I borrowed
And
that from
Lunar.
you once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
God, the Sega CD was such a cool, fantastic sci-fi
Oh
invention.
god!
It's
And
just
it was
like,
since it was like an unstable CD player. If you stepped on the ground
oh
and
my
dragged
god, yeah.
don't move! I'm about to beat it.
Yeah, I think somebody got just loud. They were just like, "Yeah," and like it skipped.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Discman.
Yeah.
"Well, we're done."
Yeah.
Then there's no save point. Let's go back
Yeah,
to the
and
beginning.
games were
Start
harder
over.
back then too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's better or worse than the CDI Zeldas.
No. I have a random question, and it's completely not. Can console players on Dragon Age Inquisition play with PC players?
I don't think so.
No,
I
they
don't
don't do cross.
There's no. I don't think there's any platform that does that.
Console, yeah.
There's a few games out there that'll try and do it, but it's really difficult to do it.
I don't think I've ever seen that. What games?
I've known of some in the past, but I can't.
Pac-Man,
Because it's like I get that they want like their inclusive network and things like that, but it's like how just fucking cool would that be? Is if you could jump on your Xbox and play with somebody that was on a PC.
Yeah, but see, then without starting the wars, because I'm older now. I don't care. You console warriors and your PC mustard races, it doesn't matter. I play it all.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm older now. I have a job, so I can buy all of them. So it's good.
But
kind of have a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Back then, but when you had the one, like you and I never had like Sega. Wow, man, you suck.
No, you were Nintendo, so I came to your place for Nintendo, and I had Sega, so you came to mine to play Sega.
The kids nowadays.
But there was never like you didn't
The kids nowadays.
well, you didn't look down your nose at somebody because they decided to go with any one item over another. That it was just like
I only discovered that after all of that happened.
I remember the first PlayStation.
I still kind of feel the way about PlayStation Xbox, by the way. I still got a whole grudge.
Okay, I
you got
understand
an
PlayStation, Xbox. I understand that.
it's just the red ring issue. I think that like
that was fun.
sullied a lot.
Pretty big issue, I feel.
It was some glue, the soldering like the
Was that the problem
thermal
with the
paste
Xbox or the PlayStation?
with the Xbox. Yeah, the
I
thermal.
still have a PlayStation 2 that runs.
It was a
and I
thermal
have
paste
Xbox
issue. It
360
was a factory
that
issue.
no longer runs.
But see, that's your
half the
that's
age.
100% your fault because mine red ringed and I sent it into Microsoft and they gave me a new one, no problem. You have to go on the internet and just fill out the paperwork and they post it.
What is this internet?
Yeah. Come on.
Hey, I got a notice in the mail that there was a part wrong with my car and they did a recall. I took it in, they fixed it for free, and now I'm not going to die in a fiery blaze.
No one makes parts of my car anymore.
But that's the same.
Where I'm coming from.
But it's the same thing with like your Xbox. Of like somebody at the factory made a mistake, they were going to fix it for free, and all you had to do was just tell them that yours was broken.
Meanwhile, I also have a GameCube, a Sega Dreamcast that still works. I plugged them in.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like that makes them superior systems as opposed to 360. I know I'm like...
Things
My Halo Edition Xbox 360 right down there is still working just fine. Although Battlefield 4 would not come on and just stuck at the load screen. But that's just Battlefield 4.
It could have been
Battlefield 4 is the, it was dropped on its head as a child. Like
so I have an important question for Travis.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite game of all time?
I
don't say I love all games.
No, there's some horrible games out there. Ride to Hell Retribution, I'm going to point that out. That was a terrible game. Jesus. I don't have any favorite anything. It's a character flaw of mine. But because I'm always asked
That's the only thing wrong with me.
That's the only thing wrong.
So what's the answer
I'm
you
too
give then?
good at what I do.
But that's like saying like, what's your favorite movie?
Yeah.
Or what's
I tried too hard.
What's your favorite child?
But yeah, none of mine. Earthbound for Super NES and Doom. I always say are my two.
Yeah.
I have really great
memories.
I could probably create tears out of my eyes right now from just emotion of just thinking about the initial Earthbound starting up. They're actually making a fan-made Mother 4 that should be out within a month or two. Completely fan-made, and it's
on Steam or
completely standalone. I forget the exact site. You can Google it on Google, of course.
Yeah. Bing it. You can bing it.
Yeah, but it's great, and I will drop every single AAA, indie, whatever game. I don't care if no one watches. I don't care if I lose a couple hundred people watching at any time. I'm playing that game as soon as it comes out. I have such great emotions with it. But you were talking about earlier, although I've played others, the GoldenEyes are great, the Super Marios are wonderful. I have amazing glitching Super Mario 64, the stupid penguin race, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
You can actually shortcut that pretty good, but people beat that stuff speedrun. People on Twitch speedrun beat the game in like 30 minutes. I want to be was it Boshi? I think the record's like 32 minutes right now to beat Boshi, and there's people that spend weeks on a boss.
That's insane.
People are crazy, but those I would say Earthbound and Doom were good.
Nick, go.
What
Favorite game?
Pass. Nick, man.
Lunar.
So same thing as what we say about our favorite movie, whatever. It isn't like the best
changes
one
every
ever
time,
made.
yeah.
It isn't like the most,
no.
like flawless, whatever.
No,
the
I'm
thing
not-
you enjoyed the most,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not saying the best game ever made because that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so I.
We all know Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
I would say favorite game was Battlefield 2. I spent like fucking 2 years of my life playing that game, and 21st Century Warfare was the, I don't even call it the clan, I don't even know exactly what to call it, but it was like a couple hundred of us were going on there and playing under that name on their servers, their mod and all that. Like we would practice our strategies and then go and have these battles, with 2nd Infantry Division Bravo Company. Like it was full on regimented military going and playing this game, and there was actual tactics, and it totally changed my mindset for playing the game, of having like squad tactics and thinking about like the physics within the game of like, here's your C4 pack and here's the blast radius, and so to protect the flag you need to place all the C4 packs in these specific spots and to surround the flag, and that's your proper like coverage. And just to put that thought into the game, I'd never.
You were gonna like the new Blizzard game.
I am. Yeah. All right. Well, you've already got me hooked on fucking Diablo. It's consuming my life right now.
What was the other?
I'm starting my 2nd character, trying to.
Where'd you get to the first character?
Oh, I'm at level 70. I beat it.
Oh.
I beat
Are you doing? Do they have bounties and have you done it?
Yeah. So I did the exploration, whatever, the adventure mode, and then I made a new character. So I'm just trying to get that one.
So you haven't done the bounties yet, though? Or have you done bounties?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, after that, with the new, they've redone everything. Because the initial launch I played with a girlfriend at the time. Had a lot of fun with that, but it was not Diablo
with
2.
the girlfriend of the game.
Both.
The dumb turn they kept the game.
Yeah. And then the game
I think I remember you saying like you didn't like Diablo 3 as much.
Oh no, because it wasn't Diablo 2. It's the whole old person
We're just making fun of the purism.
This isn't what I know.
But there was actually a lot of stuff that I didn't really like.
No, it makes sense.
But then I went back with a recent friend and replayed it, and she's like, "No, we want to play Diablo 3." I was like, "Diablo 3? I'm not playing that crap."
It just keeps changing.
And I went back in, and they changed a lot of stuff. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So not only do you get up to level 70, you have your Paragon levels now, which can go to infinite.
I think they go to 50, right?
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
Forever.
I thought it was 50.
Yeah. And then there's the bounties, but the bounties don't really matter so much as the tiers.
There's the ladder, and then there's a greater rift.
The rifts, yes, rifts and greater rifts. You can go into a greater rift. I ended up picking a wizard because she's like, "Oh, it's a really good wizard." I was like, "I hate mages. I hit things.
I hate Asians.
I'm very that's it. Yeah.
I'm Boyle Travis. Like, let's go to the smash stuff.
I literally, I'm very much what I look like. I'm going to throw this at the enemy. And
I need to do melee whenever I'm playing a video game. I can't do magic anymore.
So I'm the opposite. So I'm always like with the magic, like even playing like Skyrim.
I just die all the time. So like, someone strong.
Even playing like Skyrim, I made a new character, and I'm like, I'm totally different. And ended up being a fucking another magic like base character. So with Diablo, I had my first one was a witch doctor, and I really like that. I really
I finally made that connection. Like the other day, I was like, Matt's D&D character is a wizard, and then his Diablo character is a witch doctor. I think he likes magic people.
So now my new character is Barbara the Barbarian. That's my goofy name for her. But I'm trying to play as the Barbarian class, and that's not really my strong suit. So it's like I went from playing with the witch doctor. It was like you have like
your pets.
Stuff like that. That I had all this like my posse that I'm running around with, and I had a couple like specials like for the heavy attacks. And now with the Barbarian, I've got 4 that I'm constantly having to keep an eye on of like what's reloaded, what can I use again, and stuff like that. So it's like, even then, like having ranged attacks from magic is great because I can sit in the corner and just hit somebody from a distance.
And
since safe. You actually have to swing a sword or a hammer or something like that, you got to get close and you're going to get hit.
You're taking the damage.
Like when you asked me to, like the other day, a long time ago actually, when you said, I never actually use my weapon, do I?
Oh,
for witch doctors, they never really do.
Because like I got this badass
throwing a bunch of fucking
sword that's on fire and he's running around with it, and then he's shooting fucking poison darts. And it's like, what? How do I
poison frog?
Yeah, I'm like, I missed. There's a key I'm not hitting somewhere. There's some kind of shortcut I've missed. I'm like, oh no, wait, it's just for display, and it's actually using the damage modifier to So
meanwhile, I love using cleave, and you hit him, they blow up. Boom!
I'm surprised you're not using whirlwind.
I use it too, but I still love cleave though. But
anyway, Blizzard's new game. I guess it's sort of an FPS.
Yeah. Is it that Morrowind or whatever it is, or
over?
Not Morrowind. I don't know what the hell I got. Okay, so if you open up Blizzard, it's got like the BattleNet whatever thing. It's got Diablo, StarCraft, and then there's a third option.
Oh no, that thing
Heroes
is the
of the
card
Storm.
game.
Okay.
Oh, well, Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, that's it. Yeah.
That's huge.
And then there's another one that's just
There's a MOBA coming out like League of Legends or Dota
Yeah.
or Han, and it's called Heroes of the Storm. And people are it's getting a lot of momentum now. But there's the new one that just the release
or something.
over something. Yeah, I haven't
Overdrive.
seen it yet,
I don't know, but basically it's like it's an FPS where you have a certain amount of abilities, and they're all very very limited. So it's really relying on tactics
Team
and
building,
teamwork.
Yeah.
Like
So-
Brink.
Yeah. Have you guys played DayZ at all? Have you seen that?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
So it's my Preston was telling me about it. He's trying to get me to buy it. So it's a mod for. Do you remember what the other Arma? Yeah. So the whole concept is like you're a survivor in this post-apocalyptic zombie infested world, and when you go out, it's an MMORPG, the massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
That's what
And-
that means?
Exactly. So so you go out, you have this huge sandbox to run around in, right? And so it generates obstacles for you. So you're going along and you find a backpack and it's got like a hammer and a sandwich. And so now you got like food, because if you don't eat, you start to get like weaker.
my
your health
sandwich.
goes down. So you have to eat. But then say that like, oh wait, like you got bit or something, or you got like scratched, or you got injured in some way, so now you're sick. So now you have to go find medicine because you need an antibiotic because you're infected.
It's too real for me.
But
It's ultra realism.
yeah, it's super. But then you come across somebody, so there's another real person, not just a zombie. You come across a person.
And they shoot you.
And
use your hammer.
but now you have your Mexican standoff where you're like looking at them like, are they gonna?
Sandwich?
Am I gonna? And it's like, yeah. So you can either like team up and then wait for any minute for them to fucking murder you in your
fuck
sleep,
that.
or or you just pull out your gun and shoot them right there and take all their stuff. And so it's like it's total like
It's Mad
realism.
Max.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's Walking Dead. It's exactly that like fear that they have every time they run across somebody. Is you're so excited to see a person that isn't
I would
dead.
watch that. I wouldn't play it though.
You'd want to watch it. You watch it on Twitch TV. Yeah,
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but those kind of games where there's no end in sight, it's just like survival mode. Like even like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like there was a campaign, but this whole adventure mode, like Diablo. Like I get sucked into this. Like there was a Penny Arcade comic from a couple days ago. Penny Arcade, check it out. Where it was, it started off. No, I don't want to do heroin. It's like that's what you're asking me, right? You're asking me if I want to do heroin. You're asking me if I want to tie up my vein and go heat it up on the spoon and shoot it in my veins. That's what you're saying, right? It's like all I said is you want to play this game. It's like and that's exactly what it is. It's so fucking addicting that like the rest of your life starts to suffer because you put yourself entirely into that world, into that character, right?
Right. And which can be for any type of media, being that we're themed here, comic books and cartoons, sports. I think there's. It's funny. I think. Yeah. Well, I won't talk about any of my teams that suck. But
Different podcast.
We'll save that for a different podcast.
yeah, jeez. But it's. Yeah, those games, especially DayZ and stuff like that, and Minecraft. DayZ is a very, it's not offensive. It's a very mature, realistic version of Minecraft.
Yes.
It's a new genre called survival, and it's huge. People, I can't play because I used to play Arma way back in the day, and it's pretty much a military trainer.
Okay.
You literally. You're walking, you're happy ass for 20 minutes out there, and the guy 2 miles away, the NPC, is going to snipe you with one shot. You will not see it because it's real life, and your happy ass is all the way back at base now, and you're walking again.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But for those that are the more methodical and stuff, I mean, you're sitting there and you're waiting for someone to come up. Boom, you got him.
And it's
now
all
you have
real time?
all of his gear because you have hunger that you have to worry about, hydration. Are you bleeding? Now you're losing a lot of blood. You need to stop yourself. You need to get a blood pack in you. Oh, by the way, there's zombies as well, and then there's these it's great for that.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's everybody.
I can't handle my real life. Responsibly. I feel that's like way too much to go around.
You're gonna play the game, and then in real life, your stomach's gonna start hurting, and you're like, I don't know what's wrong.
Sandwich,
I have to
hammer?
eat. I have to really go eat.
No, that's hammer.
I thought I was stupid for playing hardcore all the time.
Yeah, just sitting there looking at
Well,
you.
you are, but
Oh god,
It's more fun.
those
it is more funner.
Yeah. So,
It is more better.
So now that we are an hour, 7.5 minutes into the show, I just realized that our new plan of saying who we are and where you can find us at the beginning of the episode didn't quite happen today.
We said who we are. Twice.
So we're good. We're almost
Find us
there.
here on the podcast.
Yeah. So apparently, if you're seeing it now, you've found us in one of our
You're
many
still watching.
outlets. Yeah. Yeah. So as we're wrapping up here, we got a few more minutes. So Travis, where can we find you on the internet?
The easiest place is going to be Twitter, actually, at .com/HJTenchi, TENCHI. And you can find me every day, 1 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/HJTenchi, TENCHI. So it's HJTenchi is house derived from back when I played Starship Tribes 1. Back in the COD
I remember
days
it from
too.
StarCraft.
I mean, I've had that name for like 15 to 16 years now.
The rest of the time on Tinder. So.
Yeah.
And
Same name.
If you can find yourself within 15 miles.
Yeah.
No. So Twitter, Instagram, any of that stuff too, or just Twitch?
No,
Yeah.
Twitter's for those that do want to stream, that DeviantArt, musicians, anything, you got to do Twitter. Twitter is a great business. It's your face box, but it's actually relevant.
It's faster.
It's relevant because and I'm not saying that Facebook can't be either. I have a Facebook for it, but it's just like hey, by the way, I'm online.
It's to provide a link to your Twitter,
to your Facebook page, and then you got them hooked. You can totally deliver information.
Hopefully.
But like Twitter is like you're hitting people that aren't necessarily looking for you.
It's just easier. Yeah. I mean, the president of Microsoft or Nintendo or something's right there, and you can technically tweet at him, and it'll probably ban you and get you put on a list.
Yeah.
But
and it's really weird how often they actually do respond to normal people. So.
But it's easier. All the people that are streaming, all the people that are creating music, if I need to talk to a developer, I can tweet them, and it's fast and it's easy, and I can get it back. Whereas, you could wait all day or get the email notifications on Twitch and wait for the person you're online, or most likely most people are like, hey, I'm going to be online in an hour, or I'm late or something like that, which happens.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, anything else you want to plug? You want to mention?
I don't know. If you still listen to me after all of this, you're not a Star Wars fan, I guess. Definitely come check them out. It's fun. It's great. It's a wonderful community. People come and hang out, and we chat, and we're nice to each other. There's enough places on the internet that are full of asses, and if you want to be one of those, don't go on Twitch. Go to YouTube. You can put YouTube comments all day and be an asshole. Twitch, I have a button I can just ban you. So it's just it's great. Time out, come back in. I still hate you. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
And I know you hate me. I'm sorry. But no, that's really it. I mean, if you, for whatever reason, want to see me, that's where I'm at.
Well, cool. Well, Nick, Eric, anything you want to plug, mention? Where can we find you?
Local bars.
Go to BC's Pizza.
Gutters, anywhere really.
Go to BC's Pizza. Say,
Local gutters.
I'm hungry.
Say,
Let's go
bars.
You say, go to BC's Pizza and tell them that you saw Eric on NoTownNerds and they had great pizza and beer. And,
and then shun him publicly or shame him publicly.
And tell them that they should sponsor our podcast and
they won't do that.
And pay us. Well, you got to try that. Put in the effort.
Yeah, you got to.
Right.
And I will just say, go watch Hunger Games.
No.
So I'm Matt Hackney. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram as TV's Matt Hackney. So it's TVS Matt Hackney.
What does that stand for?
I don't get
Television's Matt Hackney. I do work. My normal job is at a television station, and
it all makes sense.
It's a clever, clever little phrase that I can use. Yeah. But you can find us here, NoTownNerds. We're on YouTube, NoTownNerds, iTunes, and Stitcher. And if you have any questions or complaints or anything of that nature, or if actually, so any kind of communication, you can message us.
Message at HJTenchi.
No, that's cool. No, I'm good. I already get enough hate mail for all of my opinions.
So yes, if you have any kind of communication you want to do with us, it's NoTownNerds@gmail.com. We're also on the Twitter and the Facebook and Stitcher and iTunes and YouTube, and I think I already said all that.
And the Google Play Store?
Not yet.
And the Amazon App Store?
But we are looking for other local nerds,
Right.
other nerds from the Fresno regional area.
You're
So
putting the word out.
yeah, so if anybody you know of anybody
call to
that
arms.
you think is a nerd, someone that qualifies,
Not to
you
go
don't
in the
necessarily
face.
have to have. How many viewers do you have on?
A day or
Just average,
In general.
Yeah,
a couple
Ballpark
hundred.
it.
couple hundred.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to have hundreds of followers on
That's a
Twitch
couple hundred
TV.
more than we have. So
Yeah,
we're good.
yeah.
So so just anything. Anybody
on
that's a fanatic, somebody you think is crazy, somebody that's got a good story,
But not
or-
actually crazy. Don't want to get shivved.
Yeah.
Let's say bring beer.
That's our demographic. That's our demographic. They're
Touche.
crazies. Yeah.
Well,
But
Fresno.
yeah. So so we got a couple minutes left. I don't remember. I think we talked about ZapCon was coming up. I don't think we've done it since then. But ZapCon, the Fresno Comic Convention in October, it was great. It was a really awesome turnout. They got Heroes Comics to come out. They said it was like the first convention he's been to in like 15 years.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool to have him there.
The Heroes Comics.
Yes, the Heroes, local Heroes Comics. But it was a good turnout. It was a big crowd. They did have an Artemis Bridge Simulator tournament going on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
right?
that's actually pretty
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
so yeah, so
Alright.
it's like
okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they had a really awesome turnout. The organizer couldn't tell me for sure if they were going to have another one next year, but he was just amazed that it went off as well as it did this year. So he was just taking this year as like, we did it, it happened, we're good. Let's try for next year.
Yeah.
And since this year was also the last year for Annie Jam, there's some loose plans to team up next year. So the burden
cool.
isn't solely on any one person. They could do a bigger event.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. It's a great thing for Fresno to have its own little comic convention, something to look forward to. But
That's good.
you are a NoTown nerd. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nerd, it has a semi-negative connotation to it, but it's like you're nerdy about something, you're excited, you're into it, and
Enthusiast.
that's it. Yeah, that's all we're looking for.
Yeah.
So
No, it's great. It's I think it's becoming less and less of one. It's really cool. Everybody has something nerdy that they do. Like I said, whether it's sports or video games or comic books or body pillows.
Other
Math.
kids. Blue shirts. whatever.
yeah.
all right, so we can stop now, or we can go 15 more minutes. Okay, cool.
That's all, folks.
And scene.
Can I be racist now?
Hey, something. It's off the air.
Wait, we stopped?
It's off the record.